Good morning, Foxes. Good morning, Gary. How you doing?
Sorry, I tried to hit the start button without being on stage.
Thanks for starting it. What's up, Joshua? Just invited you on stage. GM Highlander, Ron, Psycho, Seth, Doctor. Looks like we got a solid crew shaping out. Happy Friday, everybody. All right, in a minute, we'll get Josh up here on stage. I guess we'll wait like another 29 seconds to see if anyone else joins. A little late. What happened to our lo-fi beats? Thank you. Let's see. Do you see the invite now, Josh? Hey, what's up, Joshua?
Howdy. I figured
right.
it out. Oh, thank you.
Sweet. Thanks for joining us today, dude. How's your day going so far?
Yeah, of course. Busy. We had a bunch of incorporations come in this morning that we're working through. So
I bet it seems like everybody waited till the last minute to sign up.
my team was prepared for this.
Sweet. Yeah, you guys know how we do it. You know.
They understood the assignment. So we're
Awesome.
ready for it.
Well, yeah, it looks like we got a solid crew here today. I know there's a lot of questions and interest and just learning more about Opolis now that the deadline's approaching us. Lots of people scrambling to get their stuff in before the deadline. Thank you for taking the time when you guys are so busy to share a little bit about Opolis and answer any questions.
Of course, no problem.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll start. I'll just give a quick overview of Opolis from my view, and then I'll hand it over to Joshua to run the show. I think most of you guys know, but for those of you that don't, Opolis is a really cool, I think it's either called an employment coalition or cooperative.
That second one.
It's cooperative. Yeah, it's an employment cooperative.
So ShapeShift is the coalition partner, but we're a membership co-op.
Very cool.
Employment DAO is another word for it.
Very, very cool. So yeah, before Opolis, I know a common question for a lot of the ShapeShift employees before transitioning to the DAO is like, how am I going to get paid? How am I going to get a mortgage? How am I going to pay my taxes and stuff? How am I going to get health insurance? And Opolis is the answer to that. They're an awesome project, also based out of Denver, Colorado, Shield, Colorado. I've been friends with them for a while. Founder of Opolis is actually the founder of ETH Denver, John Poller. So we're old good friends with them. They're OGs in the space, and they've been working on Opolis for a long time, and it's quite an elegant solution to anyone who's asking those questions. So it's only available to U.S. contributors, but I just signed up yesterday, and I'm planning to take my pay, even though I'm getting paid by the foundation, through Opolis, so that it'll help with insurance, help with my taxes, help just give me a W-2 form so I can go get a mortgage one day, all that good stuff. Plus, what I'm most excited about, because I'm a DGen, is stacking these work tokens, because I'm pretty bullish on the whole Opolis tokenomics model. So maybe if there's time at the end, Joshua can tell us a little bit about the Opolis, the work tokenomics. And without further ado, I'll hand it over to him. Josh, what are you gonna do? You're gonna give us an overview, maybe people post in the stage chat too if you have questions and stuff. But yeah, I think Josh you probably know what would be most helpful for us.
Sure. Yeah, I can. I'll address the stage chat stuff as it comes in, but I'll start with that was a great summary. Opolis is the Inc. that services the Employment Commons LCA, which is a Colorado cooperative. That's the organization that you'll be joining as an employee member. You become a co-employee of the cooperative, and to be co-employed, you have to have another entity that you are able to be employed by. And that is an employment vehicle. So this is part of this employment self-sovereignty concept that we have kind of invented. We're decoupling work from employment. So you're still going to do the work for whoever it is you work for, whether that's ShapeShift DAO or, you know, if you drive Uber or whatever on the side, we don't particularly care where your income comes from. But what you're doing is you're establishing employment self-sovereignty inside of this LLC that you are the owner and employee of. And this LLC elects S Corp, which allows you to be an actual employee of the entity rather than it being a pass-through. Though through the process that we use, it does end up becoming a pass-through. It's a little bit complicated. We'll get into that in a second. But just real quick on these questions, it is open in 48 of the 50 states. We're not live in Arizona because of dumb laws. Well said to Zyko. And Michigan for another set of dumb laws. Is it true that without Opolis DAO, contributors are considered contractors and have to file taxes every quarter? Not related to DAO stuff, but yeah, if you're an independent contractor, you should be filing what are quarterly estimates. So instead of surprising you with this massive tax bill in April, because as an independent contractor, you are receiving income without taxes being withheld. The quarterlies help to mitigate the, and let me preface the rest of what I'm about to say with I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a CPA. The government wants interest on what you owe, and what Opelus does, and what every employer does, is they withhold taxes out of every paycheck, so that you're not paying interest on the money that you owe the government. As a self-employed person, you're not paying those taxes, and that's what quarterlies are. You're paying quarterly estimates. So you guess what your overall annual income is, you divide it by 4, and that the tax burden is what you owe every each quarter to avoid. It's kind of a fee. It's actually interest that you owe the government. There's another side of this, which is if you're a contributor to a DAO as an individual, without an extra operating agreement, you're actually it's considered a general partnership. So by contributing to a DAO via an LLC, you're actually contributing with a limited liability shield. So that's cool. So Opolis takes out taxes for us. Yes, 100%. That's what we do. So the flow of the money is ShapeShift DAO and whoever else you're contributing to is going to pay into your corporate account, whether that's your corporate bank account or whether it's your corporate owned ETH address. I have 2 pieces of hardware. I have a Grid Plus Lattice and I have a Trezor. One of them is my business, is owned by my corporation, and all the ETH addresses on that hardware are part of my business, and then all the addresses from the other hardware are my personal addresses. So when I contribute to DAOs, they pay me onto my business one. That income gets processed through Opolis, and then I get paid out in fiat, minimum wage in fiat, and then the rest I take on my personal piece of hardware. Okay, so how do the taxes get taken out? The taxes don't get taken out when ShapeShift pays your LLC. The taxes get taken out when your LLC pays Opolis to pay you. So let's say you're making $120,000. That's a good, easy number. $120,000 divided by 24 comes out to $5,000. That's $5,000 per paycheck. So I think that's right. Did I do that math right? I did. Okay, continuing. 5,000 twice a month because we do paychecks twice a month. Inside of that 5,000, $50 is the membership fee, the community fee that all of us pay into. When that results in a profit, as employee members of the cooperative, we would receive a share of those profits. So you get a rebate, essentially. Inside of that 5,000, so now it's 5,000 minus 50. We also pay all of the premiums for the benefits that you opt into. So health, dental, vision, if you're contributing to an HSA or 401k, And then we also pay all the taxes that you owe. This is both sides of payroll taxes, your income tax. And then we pay into FUTA, SUTA, FICA. So Social Security, Medicare, workers' compensation, unemployment, which as an independent, you're not eligible for. So it's coming from being employees of ShapeShift, we are essentially mimicking the entire employment process, except for instead of ShapeShift owning this process and these liabilities and these benefits, your personal employment vehicle is what owns this. This gives you portability of employment. So you can go and contribute anywhere you want without having to worry, am I hitting 40 hours to qualify for X, Y, and Z to be able to do yada, yada? You're always going to be compliant. Will Opolis accept the XDAI USDC? Not yet. We are working on building out compatibility for using XDAI. It's the first chain that we're working on because of our partnership with ShapeShift and also our partnership with DAO House and Raid Guild, who all pay their contributors, employees, members, etc. On XDAI. So there is like a stopgap kind of where I've been doing this for some members who are not able to cover their gas fees, where I will take the XDAI USDC from them and then pay their invoices on mainnet. I don't want to do that for too many people because I'm just eating shit in gas fees, which is not fun. But it helps, get people onboarded. I would say probably 2 to 3 months before we're able to really get this up. Is there a tax implication with the bridge? I don't think so, because it's USDC for USDC, so you're trading $1 for $1, and so there's no delta between XDAI USDC and mainnet USDC. It'd be considered an internal transfer rather than a sale. Okay, could a liquidity provider in ETHFox Unipool and staking that LP for Fox income via ShapeShift DAO be eligible for benefit plan participation? We are agnostic to where your income comes from. So whether it's because you are doing Did I miss something? Something got deleted. Because you are okay. Let me take this back. So any income that you earn, whether it's for being a contributor, you earn it, short-term cap gains. All of these things are just this is regular income that you'd be able to process. It's pre-tax income. Nobody has taken taxes out yet. Okay, I heard there's a minimum to qualify per year. Yes, this is not an Opolis requirement. This is an IRS requirement. So, and Department of Labor. So, what you are doing is you're becoming a salaried employee, a salaried co-employee of both the employment commons and your employment vehicle. To be an eligible employee who is compliant with labor laws, you have to be paid minimum wage. You're entering into a salaried minimum wage. So it's not the like $7.25 per hour. It's whatever the salary minimum wage is. For Colorado, it was like $40K, which is going up to $45K, either 2022 or 2023. But each state has its own. So most of the states are like 35, 36,000. Colorado's 40 to 45. California is like 60, 62. New York is like 70, 70,000. And the reason I'm giving you ranges and not exact numbers is because it also depends on what benefits you opt into, which is why there's not a clear answer on what is the minimum, because it depends on per state and it also depends on which benefits you opt into. All right, cool. What is I don't know how to respond to these comments in the stage chat. Cool. There is nobody else up here on stage with me. Does anyone want to raise their hand, ask a question, or?
Hey, I'll come shoot the crap.
Yes, this is better as a give and take. What did I miss? Or did I say something confusing?
No, I think you're crushing it so far. It's all making a lot of sense to me, at least. I think it also helps too if you just go through the process. So I think it's probably a big question is like, what is, especially we got this deadline. What's the deadline today? What is somebody who wants to like get in before the deadline need to do?
Yes. So we published a deadline because deadlines are what make people pay attention. And if there's not a deadline, people, fuck off. So there are hard deadlines and there are soft deadlines. So let's talk about what the hard deadlines are. Today is a hard deadline for the giveaway that we did, where we're giving away, there's 7 prizes. And since there's only like 70, 80 people who are joining between December 1st and December 17th, you basically have between a 1% and 2% chance of winning 1 ETH, or 20, 15, 10, or 5,000 work. Those are 4 different ones. And then 2 Buffacorns, which are the NFT project of ETH Denver. So that'll be a cool prize. I'm excited to give that away. The deadline for being part of the January 7th paycheck is also today. Actually, technically tomorrow. So let me explain how this works. This doesn't have a thing for sharing screen, does it? That's okay. We'll talk through it, and you guys can use your imaginations. Okay, so if you pull up your calendars, I will walk through kind of how our calendars work with you. And in the meantime, let's start with the high level.
Do you want a Zoom? We can get a Zoom for you if you'd like. We can get
no, it's
okay, cool. No, thanks, Frank.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so paychecks go out on the 1st and 3rd Friday of every month. So today was a payday, which is why, in addition to being a crazy deadline, today is also the day that our ops team is like underwater doing payroll, which in 7 years of processing payroll, they have never missed 1 paycheck. The ops team would love for me to make sure that you knew that. The 1st and 3rd Friday is payday. The draws from where you're supposed to pay your invoice, or the ACH payments, are 2 days before that, so the Wednesday, and the invoice is created 9 days before payday. So today is the 17th, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think the 8th, between the 6th and the 8th, is when the invoice was actually created and sent to you for this paycheck on the 17th. So why does today matter? Because the invoices for the January 7th pay are being created over the weekend. And it's happening over the weekend because of the Christmas holiday, and America pretty much shuts down for all of Christmas. The banks, our verifying partners, the health insurance opt-in stuff, everybody is home for the holidays. So we're trying to make sure that those invoices are created before the holiday. Is that an important deadline to miss? The answer is it depends. The way our work tokenomics work is based off of growth. So every time we grow by $50,000 in payroll volume, 5 million work are minted. 30% of those go to the employee members who process their payroll. Hopefully that will be all of you, and some of you already are. 30% go to the referrer. So in this case, ShapeShift DAO will be your referrer. So for every work that you earn, ShapeShift DAO is also earning work, which is really cool, and an additional stream for your DAO, or work stream, depending on however you're setting it up. 20% goes into a staking contract, 10% goes to the Opelus treasury, 10% goes to the employment commons treasury. So these 5 million are minted every time we have a growth threshold. Last pay period, we ran, actually 2 pay periods ago, we ran like 630,000 payroll. Then on the 1st, we ran about the same, which means we fell short of that $650,000 pay period, except for because of the way the calendar timed out, we had we had onboarded like 20 something members for December, but because they missed that first paycheck date, they weren't included in the December 3rd payroll. So now 20,000 people, or sorry, 20 people at an average of like $5,000 per paycheck are being added to the December 17th payroll. So we're expecting to clear the 650 deadline, and we're expecting to clear the 700. And it's entirely possible with the year-end bonuses, we also clear 750 and 800. In which case, we're about to mint about 20 million work, which would be just fucking outrageous. We haven't minted, we haven't crossed 4 epochs in one period before. We did like basically an annual, I can't remember the word, so that bonuses don't affect one paycheck significantly more than the other. It's just because this is the last pay period for people to get their 2021 income processed from column A, their corporate, to column B, their person. The last paycheck in December is always going to be just outrageously overweighted. So why does this matter? Because we are in a year-end push going to onboard like 70 to 80 people that are going to process their payroll on January 7th. If you are part of that payroll, you are going to earn part of the 5 million tokens per epoch that are minted. Did that make sense?
You're telling us we're going to be work whales?
If you're onboarded today and are able to be like finish your bank stuff by tomorrow, you're going to incidentally end up being work whales, because this is kind of like the last few pay periods that are what I would consider the end of early. You're among the first 300. You're among the first 300 members. Work is paying out at about 1 work per dollar. It's a little over 1 work. Once we cross the 300 member threshold, that'll probably drop below, and it'll end up being like 90.95 work per dollar, if that makes sense. Because 1.5 million work is being shared among like 200 something people right now. And by January 7th, it'll be shared among 270 people. And by the January 21st pay period, it'll be shared among 320 people. So you're just kind of getting diluted as time goes on. So more work is being minted, but it's being shared among more people, and it's becoming more scarce because it becomes harder to mint new work. Once we hit 1 million in PCPV, which we're expecting to by January 21st, to be able to reach.
You lost me with all the math. I was trying to keep track, but I think the TLDR makes sense. The sooner you get in, the more work you're gonna get relative to everyone who joins later.
Yes.
Early birds get the workworms, and y'all heard it here first, y'all. That's the alpha for the call. And if the health insurance deadline wasn't enough to get you going, hopefully this is enough to inspire the FOMO. I'm definitely excited to stack some work, and really excited also for the DAO. Everyone, make sure if you guys, when you fill this out, that you select ShapeShift as how you heard about Opolis, because that's how it'll let the Opelus team know to count you as a referral. And it's pretty cool. It's not just a one-time referral, but every time you get paid, the DAO is going to get paid. And one of those cool things where it does not cost you any extra. So one of those brilliant, beautiful affiliate models for the DAO.
Yeah, and then we get into well, let me finish the DAO. Get in for healthcare for January 1st if we process your paperwork. And I'm Jewish, so I'm not going to be taking Christmas off the way Christians do. So I'll still be here to answer questions and help you get onboarded and finish all your stuff. Form where we fill it out. It's $2.99.
Cool.
Hey, okay. So Ron's saying that I'm breaking up.
I hear you fine. Is Josh breaking up for anyone else in the audience?
Okay, because
It might just be Ron.
Okay, cool. Because my account, my computer definitely has trouble. So,
Sorry, Ron.
all right.
It sounds
all right,
fine.
so
Totally clear to me. Yeah.
can we claim gas fees as a loss? Okay, again, I'm not a CPA, but the gas fees you can actually build into the price average of the transaction. So if you're buying, let's say you're buying Fox with USDC and it costs like $20 in gas to do so, you would build that into your cost average for the Fox that you acquired. And then you don't have to write it off. You just are accurately reporting your cost basis for Fox tokens. Does Opolis calculate capital gains for their users when they sell their tokens? No. We are employment based and not investment based. I can kind of help you talk through some of that, but it wouldn't happen inside of our product. No. Okay. Are work affiliate payments to the DAO on mainnet? No, they will be on Polygon. So I don't know how you guys have set up your treasury or your Gnosis safe or your DAO DAO. I actually don't know, but there's a way.
Safe,
Yeah, there's actually a way to get a Gnosis safe so that your address is repeated on Polygon. If your Gnosis safe is older than a few months old, because the new method of creating Gnosis safes doesn't do the same way. But the old way, there's a little trick I can show you if you haven't set up your Polygon one.
Yeah, please do, because I know about the trick, but I know it's only possible if we can get to the same nonce basically on Polygon that are
Yeah, you
nonce.
can.
Cool.
Yeah, I can show you how to do that. Compliments of Aaron McMillan. He's the one who showed me how to do that.
Sweet,
just
thank
bought
you.
Mar Fox. Cool.
That would be fantastic, Josh. Yeah, if we could get the same address on Polygon.
Is it easier to set up a new LLC or use an Inc that's already set up? It's definitely quicker to use an existing Inc. If you have an LLC, an existing LLC can opt to be taxed as an S Corp within the first 60 days of incorporation or within the first 3 months of the year. So you have until mid-March to take an existing LLC and have it be taxed as an S Corp. If you choose the Wyoming LLC, there's pretty much a guarantee we can get it done by tomorrow, Monday at the latest. Wyoming LLCs, Colorado LLCs, Delaware Incs are almost all same day, next day. We're knocking on 1 p.m. It's 2 p.m. Delaware's can come back, but Wyoming, yeah, we definitely can get some of those done and try to push those for tomorrow. We need to get Josh some better interwebs. Yes, we do. I actually have an AT&T fucking fiber in my house, but I'm in
AT&T. That's your problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have another choice, but I am moving to Denver. Okay, so there's a request for Flow. So I'm going to take a screenshot of the thing, and I'm going to post it in the chat, and then we can talk about it. That was I don't know why I didn't think of this.
Diagrams? You got diagrams? Oh,
I do
you
have a
love
diagram.
diagrams.
Yeah, I'm just like John Oliver. I love shitting on my business daddy.
Yeah. The AT&T, they really are the worst. I mean,
It's not
oh
letting
gosh,
me
I hope they're
grab this.
listening. If you're listening to this AT&T, F you. Jesus.
Yeah, fuck off, AT&T. I don't know why it's not letting me add a screenshot. Maybe I don't have rights on the stage chat.
You want to DM it to me, and I'll drop it in there real quick, and then maybe Giant can give you rights for next time too.
Oh, I love this GIF. This is perfect. Yeah, let's see. Where's Willie?
Cool. And Beard, if you want to come up on stage too, I have invited you. Okay, see you up here.
I'm here. I want to see this flow that he's posting. I need flows. I don't really. This shit's so confusing. I don't even know what the right question is to ask.
I just sent it to you on Telegram.
You and your Telegram. Okay.
It's just easier. Discord, I don't know. Discord DMs are kind of a mess.
That's how I feel about Telegrams, because I got added to all these like spam groups somehow.
Oh, dude, fucking folders, man. Folders have saved my life. I have personal group chats, Opolis stuff, Eat Denver stuff, and DAOs, and I don't lose anything anymore.
That's the trick. But yeah, basically the thing for me is I need to catch it when someone messages me and then put it in a folder. Otherwise, it's gone forever, basically. Yeah.
Yep, I have.
I got a folder for you though. Yeah. All right.
Oh, I'm in a special folder.
Yeah, just for Josh. It's one I never check. Burn. Just kidding. Okay, I posted it.
Okay, let's go back to stage chat. All right, so organizational structure. So DAOs, in this case, the DAO is ShapeShift DAO or your work stream or wherever else you're working for, right? The money, that DAI or this USDC on XDAI is going to go into Buffcorn LLC, my Grid Plus. It's going to go into there. Okay. Then I'm going to pay my Opelus invoice in DAI. I'm going to tell them, let's say it's 120. I'm making that, and I'm going to tell Opelus I want to be billed 5,000 DAI every pay period. So a couple of days before payday, they're going to send me an email that says, please send 5,000 USDC or DAI to this address. Thank you. To this address, I'm going to send it to the Opelus Employment Commons, who's going to pay all the benefits, all the taxes, and then they're going to send me minimum wage in USD, Fiat trash, and then anything above that minimum wage, I'm going to take an ETH, DAI, Bitcoin, actually anything that's on SendWire. So as soon as Fox is listed on SendWire, we could pay out in Fox.
Hopefully, just a matter of time.
We actually, if they're listed on SendWire, we actually could take payment in Fox as well. So that's kind of the missing component. Is while Wire is our like back-end rails, we are kind of at the mercy of whatever's listed on there. We're sticking to just stablecoins right now to make things easy. Wait, why do we only get paid minimum wage? Okay, you have to take at least minimum wage in US dollars. You don't have to get paid a minimum wage.
Stupid minimum wage laws. Yeah.
Yeah. And the joke that I like to tell around this is, which I hate saying things that are supposed to be funny to an audience that can't respond audibly, is basically the Department of Labor considers there's a rule against being paid in script. These are things that unions fought and won for, so that like Walmart employees couldn't get paid in Walmart coupons, and that if you work on a farm, you can't get paid in hamburgers. And the Department of Labor considers USDC to basically, so you can't get paid in script. That's why you have to take minimum wage in dollars. We're working on a waiver that would allow you to take 100% of your income in.
What if it's the ShapeShift DAO paying in hamburgers? Does that count, or?
We don't care, because that's 1099 income. You're engaging not in employment, but in a contract. So if you agree to do contract work in exchange for a hamburger, that is your own fault. We are not going to process the hamburger for you because hamburgers
Wire doesn't support it. Yeah,
it's because of SendWire. But if hamburgers were supported by SendWire, we'd be able to process it for you.
Watch, yeah, I'm sure there'll be a burger coin one day.
Well, this just made it infinitely more confusing. What kind of hamburger? What? So at the end of the day, I'm a W-2'd person. So at the end of the day, I can go into TurboTax and be like, blah blah blah. Here's my W-2. I'm done.
Yes.
All right.
That is correct. Kind of. So that's half of the equation. So on your personal side, yes, it is that easy. You're going to hand over your W-2 from the Employment Commons and say, I would like the standard deduction. Here you go. Here's my paperwork. On the business side, you do have to file for your business. But what we do is we try to help it so that you are going to owe $0 in corporate taxes. So you're going to basically be like Trump and Jeff Bezos, who make all those millions of dollars and then pay zero in corporate taxes. How do they do it? It's because ShapeShift DAO in this $120,000 example is going to pay you $120, and then you're going to pay Opelus $120. Your business is. So your business has $120 coming in, $120 going out, and you report books that say I made $0 in profit. So you still have to file, and most CPAs will charge anywhere from like $100 to $250 for it. So you pay a CPA to say, here, file $0 of profit. So your corporate gets taxed at zero, and then your personal gets taxed on that W-2. Bob's your uncle.
Okay. And then do we get is there a document or whatever, a form for this business to file these taxes? If just send them in, do they require some sort of paper trail?
Not really. It's just books. I mean, you'll have statements, right? Like you could use Etherscan transactions.
So we don't need a business checking account. These funds never touch our business checking account, right? They just go through this wallet that is our business wallet, and that gets sent to Opolis.
So you can do both. So we're agnostic to it, but because we're having a conversation in the context of ShapeShift and you guys are getting paid in USDC, yeah, nothing would touch a business bank account. You get paid in USDC on XDAI, you bridge the USDC to mainnet, you send us the USDC. We're hoping to cut that middle step out in the next few months, but for now you have to bridge it.
Okay, so you take our taxes out. There's a 1% fee or whatever for Opolis. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we could build like a side product that that pools everything together and then bridges it all over in one transaction and then divides it back into the wallets that contributed to it. That'd be interesting. Like an escrow contract where once it hits $100,000 in USDC, it bridges over and then distributes it.
Yeah, and I don't even think you guys would have to build that yourself. I think other layer 2s are working on that exact type of thing, especially for going to mainnet, so that users on layer 2 can kind of share the gas fees of getting down to mainnet, and building it in arbitrary ways that'll support any contract interaction. So fortunately, in this Web3 world, that might just be a Lego that's coming, even if you guys don't build it yourself.
Yeah. Cool. I stepped away from the stage chat. Let's see. How can you be paid fully in fiat? Yes, you can. You can take 100% of it in fiat if you want. How hard will it be for us to get Fox on Wire? I'm willing to get that process started if necessary. So I can't speak for Wire, but they the short answer we got was if there's deep liquidity on major exchanges, then they have no problem listing you. And so that's basically Coinbase plus Binance, or Coinbase plus Kraken, or Kraken plus Binance or something. I don't know.
Maybe you can put in a good word for us, Josh. Maybe if we all message them at the same time every day.
I can't even get Spork token listed on CoinGecko. I have zero authority.
Dang.
With Wire, yeah. We can put in a request from our end to after you guys submit all of the documentation that you need to, we can submit a thing that's hey, we really need this, so please do it. Yeah, we'd be happy to do that.
Awesome. Thanks, Brand.
Okay, there's a lot of information here. We may want to do an Opolis demo to help people see how it works in practice. Yeah, I guess, did you want to fire up a Zoom? Is there an easy way to do that? And I can share my screen?
Yes.
I have one more question on the payments, the paycheck, that can be ACH, right?
Do you want me to fire up a Zoom and share the link, or are you just doing it?
Oh yeah, that works.
Oh, I already have one called ShapeShift AMA that appeared on my calendar because I did. Okay. Welcome all to my lair. Okay, you just asked a question I missed. Sorry. Go ahead, Beard.
Yeah, I was just asking on the paychecks. Is that ACH if you do fiat?
Yes. So if you do fiat from a bank account, it is ACH from your bank, and that is truly set it and forget it, because with crypto you have to sign and send. With bank, it's literally we just ACH it. So you're just going to get a notification that says, "Hey, your invoice is coming up," and then
I mean the other way, like when we get paid. So like we'll pay you through. Like,
yeah, that's
a wallet.
it's a direct deposit to your personal bank account.
Okay, cool.
Yep. And I actually have mine split into 3 different bank accounts. I have one that's split to like my primary, and then one I'm trying out on Juno because I got some things that I want to do in the back end, and then the Fold wallet. So, all right, let's I'm gonna pause here so they give people a chance to move over to the other one. We've got
Zoom link in
9.
stage chat.
We have 9 people in the Zoom, and still 24 listening here. So,
All right, who hasn't joined the Zoom yet? I'm gonna start naming names. I think we don't always get full participation, but nice, that's working. I see the numbers ticking up. We got a Zoom link in the stage chat if you guys want to follow along with this Opolis demo.
You know what? I guess it doesn't particularly matter. We can keep both. I can just keep the audio off, and I'll just share my screen on the Zoom.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have to make a full conversion. Okay. Let me find the right browser tab. I'm gonna close some of these tabs. I was doing an investigation on we had an investor dump, so I'm trying to figure out who it was. I'm sure you guys go through that same thing because everybody's paid in Fox. You guys see my screen?
So I don't know if you know this too, but we switched to the default is actually USDC as of this past month. So you can.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so you can. That's why everyone's asking too about USDC on XDAI, because it is getting paid out on XDAI. So it'd be great when you guys can support that. Then people can get paid in their bank account without any mainnet gas fees, which will be awesome. But yeah, so now any contributor to ShapeShift DAO can opt into any percent they want of Fox. But the default is that you just get paid 100% in stables. It's opt-in if you want to get any amount in Fox. So unlikely that people will be like off-ramping the Fox, because then if they wanted to off-ramp, they can just do USDC.
Awesome. Okay, so here's the dashboard. When you log in with Magic. Would love to have done Portis, but we didn't. At some point, maybe we make the switch. We did that so that it was a little bit normie friendly. I'll turn my camera on so you can see me. So here's what the dashboard looks like. I used to be an employee member of the Commons before I became a staff member at Opolis. So this is like this. And then I was playing with the bonus tool. So here's a word of caution. There's no warning. When you go to schedule a bonus and you click this schedule bonus button, it fucking goes. It just ships. Okay. So I had to go in and have it canceled because I don't have the authority to just issue myself a $50,000 bonus. Okay. So these are my numbers based off of what I was making on the campaign that I worked on before I joined the cooperative. But so because mine's inactive, it doesn't show dates on the calendar, but your calendar will actually show invoice dates and payroll dates so that you can kind of look at these things. I think this is not working right now. Yeah, okay, we won't show you rewards and governance. Magic wallets are having a problem. So we can go to like how the work token stuff works later. What you're gonna see, you've got payroll and accounts. You'll be able to set and change your annual earnings here. And this calculator will do an estimate of what each of these numbers are. There's a staging thing that I'm supposed to be able to log into that I just don't, because I like logging into mine better. But theoretically, there are real numbers that we could play with. And when you get access to the dashboard, you'll be able to really do this. Your withdrawal account is the business account, your LLC's account. This can be a corporate checking, or you can pay your invoice with cryptocurrency, and then you'll get an email. And so all the instructions are right here on this page on what you should do. On the deposit side, you're going to tell us here in USD what your direct deposit's going to be. I dropped Wells Fargo. That's how I know this is old. And then you can play with this thing to, like, what percentage are you going to pay yourself in these things? And while our dashboard only shows ETH, DAI, and BTC, it actually you can opt into anything that is on SendWire, but you'd have to email support@opelus.co to opt into ones that are not here. Okay, when you look, I'm invoice number 1. I was the first employee member to use this new product when we switched over in June 2020. So the company has been around 5 years, but this product has only been around since June of last year. So doxed, here's my home address. It's valid for another month before I move. So don't send me stuff. The invoice amount, this is based off of, I told them I wanted to make $60,000, or the campaign was paying me $60K a year. So this broke down to an invoice of $24.69. So this is what my direct deposit was that hit my bank account. This is how much I paid into taxes. This is how much my benefits cost. This is how much the fee was. And in 2020, we ran a promo that did this, but we don't have that for 2021. So this number is always going to equal this number. Was this the thing that I was supposed to show you? The flow? I don't know, Willie.
Yeah, this is definitely helpful, I think, just to give people, paint a picture for what Opelus looks like. There's also this really nice like onboarding flow too. So the first time that you sign up for Opelus, it'll like guide you through. It's like a type form kind of experience where it's just like turbo taxi, just one question at a time. So that's really easy. And then you can like get into this. What Josh has showed is kind of the admin dashboard you'll see after you've gone through that onboarding and plugged everything in. So pretty easy, about as easy as it could be to go through all this stuff. And even like setting up an LLC is pretty easy. Getting the EIN, all that stuff is pretty easy. And if you guys have questions,
how hard is it to change an LLC to elect S Corp if you set it up without that?
You got to file this form 2553. I believe the deadline for that is March 15th. Yeah.
So can we set up with Opolis with our LLC and do the S Corp later?
Yes, that's what I did too. So you can set up your LLC, you can get your EIN, and then before March 15th, you can file form 2553 to convert to an S Corp.
Cool. So we're an employee member. So we're going to get to onboarding, add your personal information, and your membership start date here is going to be January 1st. Make sure you set this to January 1st, and make sure you set this to ShapeShift. I'm not going to do this.
What happens if someone already did it and they didn't select membership start date as January 1st?
I can go back and edit that stuff. Cool. It's not a big deal. If you set it before January 1st, we obviously know you're not going to be starting before January 1st, so it'll end up being January 1st. And then if you set it to afterward, we're not going to bother you until it's time to bother you. So when you go to tell us about your job, if you are anonymous or semi-anonymous, pseudonymous, don't put like I am anon account.
Is that you over in the right corner? Is that your little like animated dude down there?
Yeah, that's me.
Because I was doing the sign up and I was like, hey, that looks like you.
How are you in two places at once?
Which?
This is getting weird, man.
Yep. This is through HubSpot. So there's a significantly limited amount that I can see from this. So it doesn't like show me what page you're on and that kind of stuff. It'll show me this URL at the top, and that's pretty much it. So people ask big questions, and it's like, I don't know what page you're on, man. Like, I don't. Okay. But yeah, so I do not prefer HubSpot. So if you have me on Discord or Telegram, please use that. But I do. This is me in the incredibly unscalable customer service. Okay. This is the part you're not going to be able to do. Okay. You're not going to be able to do the add your company information until you have your company. You can just click skip and then go to elect your benefits. Start electing benefits. and like go through and add your stuff. Okay. The reason we went through this is because I want to show you this number. What is the total amount you anticipate earning in the
Real
next
quick,
12
so
months?
we've got some questions too. So right now, we're doing these payouts on Colony, and we're doing them every month on the 15th of each month, and we just do them once per month. Is it possible? Do you have to do 2 transfers a month, or can we just do 1 transfer a month?
Not yet.
You got to do 2. Okay, so someone could basically they'd have to like get paid once and then pay themselves twice.
So basically, if you don't have enough money to fund your first invoice, what you can do is you can give yourself a loan. So your person loans your business the money to pay that first invoice. And then when you make the money back into your business, you can then undouble tax yourself by moving that money from your business back to your person outside of Opolis. So that's the typical way that people who have, a couple grand in the bank to be able to float themselves for a month. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, obviously it is more difficult to do that, in which case I recommend setting your salary significantly lower until you do have 1 or 2 paychecks that come through, and then you can raise your salary to what your expected is.
Cool. So that's a good point. So if people do, if you set a salary, if you set what stuff can you change, after you go through this flow?
Yeah.
It sounds like you can change your salary.
Almost anything that's not like a benefit that's being elected. So salary you can change. You can issue yourself a bonus up to every paycheck. So if you go into the bonusing tool and you schedule yourself a paycheck, it'll go through on the next payday. It doesn't go through immediately. So if you're expecting to make, all right, you're contributing to ShapeShift DAO, you're getting 120,000 USDC a year from ShapeShift DAO. I do not recommend putting $120,000 as your salary. The reason for that is, one, there's a possibility you end up leaving the DAO or you want to take some time off, right? With DAOs, if you're not contributing to the DAO, you're not getting paid for that pay period, right? 120 divided by 24 is 5,000. So let's say I wanted an extra 1,000 per pay period to build up in my corporate account. So I'd want to build myself 4,000. So 4,000 times 24 is 96. So I'd set $96,000 as my pay. And in that situation, $1,000 per pay is staying in your corporate account. That's a USDC that is staying in your corporate ETH address. Now, when you're a couple months in and you're like, I'm going to take a month off, or you get sick, or I don't know, whatever. And you don't want to, you need to continue paying yourself, you have a little bit of extra wiggle room. Let's say you get let go from ShapeShift DAO, you don't have income coming in for a year or 2, you're still able to continue paying your invoices, which would allow you to stay in the benefits. Now, let's say worst case scenario, you're going to go on unemployment for a few months. You are eligible to do that because you've been paying into unemployment insurance, which makes you eligible for unemployment. You're eligible for COBRA. So essentially what you're doing is you're firing yourself from your own company to be able to get access to unemployment, access to COBRA, until you're able to find another role that's paying you, and then you just start paying your invoices again. And if it's a different salary, you can change your salary, etc.
So
the benefits.
Go ahead. Sorry, finish first.
I was going to say that the benefits can only be changed during open enrollment periods.
Okay, got it. So this COBRA thing, this is interesting because there are some Foxes who are, and probably some other community members who are still employed at this time,
Sure.
but and they might have insurance included. I'm one of those people. I guess I still have it. I think 2, maybe for a couple months after my employment into the end of this month. So
Sure.
For all those people, regardless of what your current healthcare, as long as you have some healthcare plan, does that mean that we can waive for now and then sign up for healthcare once we lose our current benefits?
Yeah. So qualifying life events that would allow you to opt into insurance later. So if you waive it now, if you get married, have a kid, move states, change jobs, gain insurance, lose insurance, and in the inverse. So divorce and losing a kid, whatever. Those are all included in qualifying life events that would allow you to opt in. So if you've got COBRA, when you lose that COBRA, what you'd want to do is tell us during that month You say, hey, Opolis, I'm going to need to opt into health insurance. Let's say your COBRA expires at the end of February. So you're going to tell us in February, like middle of February, I'm going to need to opt into Opolis health insurance to start March 1st, and we'll get you set up. No problem.
Not sure why this question was even asked, but I guess hypothetically, if someone were to leave the DAO, could they unenroll in Opolis?
Yes. So unenrolling in Opolis is just to stop paying your invoices. So there's no subscription fee, so you're not paying for what you don't use. There's no penalty for leaving. There is a deposit that you place that is equal to 1 month of benefits. So if you remember one of those screens before, I showed you the gross pay and then the net pay and then the benefits. So that benefits amount is what you're going to pay. So let's say you're single and you opt into like the silver plan or whatever, it's probably going to be like $500 deposit. We never seize that deposit. That deposit will either be given back to you in full, or some of it will be used to pay for an additional month of premiums. So if you tell us it's like middle of March and you say, I want to leave the commons in April or May, right? You've given us enough warning, you will get 100% of that deposit back. Now, let's say you stop paying your invoice and we don't know, we're going to continue to take that money from the deposit and pay your premiums so that you have an extra month or two of health insurance. We don't just turn it off immediately. We have a little bit of a buffer because sometimes, maybe you're hiking in the Himalayas and you forget to send your ETH or your USDC and you miss a paycheck.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, right. We are in the process of adding a penalty for being late because a few people have been abusing the lateness, which is really annoying. And well, we kind of have to.
All right, don't be late underpayments or you will get penalized. What about like pausing it? Could someone, pause it, or once you sign up for the year, you're locked in for the year?
It's not locked in for the year. It's pay as you go, and there's a lot of there's flexibility because you are the employer and the employee. So theoretically, you could fire yourself and then hire yourself and opt in for the next month. You don't want to abuse that too much because the IRS will be like, these are a couple of red flags. Let me investigate this.
Got it.
So it's kind of about payroll benefits and opting into benefits. So in terms of the payroll side, you can just stop paying your invoices. But if you stop paying your invoices, we stop paying your premiums. So once the deposit's exhausted, we have to then tell Cigna this person is unenrolling. So essentially, you're being fired by not paying your invoices. You are firing yourself from the commons. So like you don't lose access to your dashboard because as part of joining, you have to buy one share of the cooperative that is $20 that you pay one time. So you are always a member of the cooperative. Now, whether you are actively patronizing the service or not depends on whether you're paying your invoices. But again, there's no like penalties. So if you like stop paying, you're just telling us that you want to fire yourself. In which case you become eligible for unemployment and COBRA and all that stuff.
Cool. This is great. I think we're really getting clear here. Giant Ken just asked a great clarifying question too. So maybe you could speak to this. So people, the join is not really working for the DAO, he said. It's working for your own LLC.
The join, this is probably in the context of something.
You're working for your LLC. Is it your LLC is contracting with Opolis, or you're contracting with Opolis? Like, what's that relationship between the LLC and Opolis?
You are being co-employed by Opolis and your LLC. It's you're hiring a staffing company, except for you are staffing yourself out. So rather than it's like I'm sure some of you have used staffing in the past, like Robert Half or Ronstadt or some bullshit, and they take a giant cut of your pay to get you work with ShapeShift, right? In this scenario, you are using the commons for your back office, we're not taking anything, and you are staffing yourself out to ShapeShift.
Got it.
I guess
That's
it's not
super
anything. I guess we do take 1% to operate the cooperative.
1%, but you get that work token, you know, and I'm bullish on work. So
you do get the work token that pays out at 1 work to $1, and at a little over 10 cents, it's about a 10% bonus you're paying yourself.
Sweet. That's awesome. So yeah, I'm hopeful that work will make up for that 1% fee and then some, but you know, not financial advice. This has been great. We're right at the end of the hour. Thank you so much again, Josh, for joining us. I know you got a lot of DAO contributors to onboard. So thank you for spending the time. And if anyone else has any other questions, we got an Opolis AMA channel in the Discord. I'll post the link to that right now. I'll also just post the link to get started with the onboarding if you want to do that. And then, you know, you got 0x Joshua's Discord. Feel free to ping him there, or, you know, you can go to the Opelus website and DM him right there. But he said he likes Discord, or for some reason Telegram more. So
yeah, not today. I actually don't prefer Telegram. So today I'll be spending a lot of time in Discord. So if you're messaging in the Opolis AMA chat, please tag me so that I see it. Or you can just send me a DM. That's easier than digging into various Discords.
Do you have a couple more minutes, by the way? It looks like Pasta Ghost, I know he's interested and started onboarding.
Yeah. But I have a question first. How do I get one of these foxes? A bunch of you guys have them, and they're really cool. Are they NFTs, or are they just did somebody just make them for you?
We haven't done the NFTs yet. I was talking to you about we might want to do like an NFT, kind of like the Buffacorn profile pic, random